Kobe box, Kobe shoes, Mamba face. Hey, what's good guys? This is Chris from WearTesters.com. Welcome to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today is a very strange day. We've been on YouTube for long enough to have an original shoe that we reviewed 10 years ago, actually retro. Not just retro, Protro. These bad boys right here are the Nike Kobe 4, not just any Kobe 4 though, this is the Protro edition of the Kobe 4, meaning that there have been performance upgrades. Were there enough upgrades in these things right here to warrant a $175 price point though? I'm not so sure. So before we break down the tech specs, I just want to go over real quick. Really not a lot has been changed. These things, like as soon as I opened the box, it was like a flashback. They look almost identical to the pair that I used to own. And the ones that I actually had the wrong date on the back. So that was like a rare thing back in the day. And these things just, I don't know what to say. Like they look identical. I cannot believe that these things are back because I don't feel like 10 years ago was that long ago, but maybe it was. But one of the things they said that they did change was the traction right here. The traction, again, looks identical. They said that they widened it. I don't know. I actually don't own any of my original Kobe 4s anymore. The reason being is that I went to go play in one of them because I had 3 pairs, which you can actually see in this original video of just poor quality and awkwardness. But I had 3 pairs of these shoes. One of them was this draft day colorway, again with the wrong date. Another one was the Minneapolis Lakers colorway. And then the other one was the kind of like home version of the finals edition with that purple gradient. Those things were fire. But I had bought a bunch of those things because I was using primarily one pair to hoop in, and then this is again early days of wear testing and reviewing and stuff. I didn't think that anything was going to happen, you know what I'm saying? I was just making videos, and so I had 2 more pairs as backup because that's what every basketball player does when they find that shoe that they're like, yo, this is it, this is my shoe. I never ended up getting a chance to wear the other 2, so that sucked. And then when I did finally get to, the 4-foot foam in those was lunar foam, and it just, foam doesn't last forever. It's not going to crumble or anything like this new age foam. It's not like old school polyurethane, so it won't crumble, but it doesn't feel the way that it used to. So it basically was seized up. Had a very similar experience when I hooped in a pair of original Air Jordan 20s. That sucked. So I ended up getting rid of those things, so I don't have them to compare. I wish that I did. The traction again doesn't look any different. All I know is that this was super aggressive back then. It's still aggressive right now. I'm very excited to just, man, listen to that. That sounds like awesome traction. The glass-based little carbon fiber shank right there at the midfoot plate looks a little bit different, looks a little glossier. Nothing crazy though. The Phylon foam feels a little softer. Again, it's probably because my old pairs like had seized up by the time I had like taken them out of the box. So in the rear section right here, when I was like kind of like pressing down, they definitely felt soft. The 4-foot though, I didn't feel much zoom, which I thought was interesting. And again, that was another tech spec change that they actually did to these guys. The originals had zoom air in the heel and then lunar foam in the front. Lunar foam at that time was brand new and it bottomed out quickly according to a lot of people. I feel like it more so molded to your foot because I remember like putting on my Minneapolis pair. Eventually they just felt amazing. Like it felt like my foot was molded into that 4-foot of the shoe. Something I enjoyed, but a lot of people expect to keep that soft plush springiness under their foot for the entire lifetime of the sneaker, and that's not what that shoe actually did. So they replaced that with full length zoom, much like they did on the Kobe 1 Protro. And again, I just didn't really feel it like right off trying it on. So I'm gonna play in these things. I'm ready to go. I'm trying to like plow through this because I want to get the fuck out of here and go play in these things. They got me so excited. I feel like I'm 10 years younger, even though I'm not. Now getting along to the upper, that's where I really feel like they could have given us $175 worth of changes. The thing is with a Protro, a lot of people are like, yo, put Flyknit, put this, put that. No, that's not a Protro. That's a new version of whatever it is that you're talking about. So an Air Jordan 1 Flyknit is not a Protro. It's an Air Jordan 1 with Flyknit. If you're gonna make a Protro, the key to a Protro is that you don't visually see anything different. So when you look at these things, again, they look nearly identical to the originals Protro. If they look a little bit different, it's just a remixed retro. Like you can't call a Spizike a Protro. It's just not happening. They got everything in there.
Could you Protro a Spizike though?
I mean, if you wanted to, but why would they? Why wouldn't you just Protro any of the shoes it's made out of?
Because what if that is your favorite shoe?
Said no sneakerhead ever.
You like that puzzle piece look.
I like it, but I'm just saying. Like when they did the Air Jordan 1 Alpha, that shoe was in this video. That was not a Protro. Even though it was an updated Air Jordan 1, it looked like an Air Jordan 1, but nothing really looked like it because the midsole was different. It was like an elevated phylon and all that stuff. The traction was different. That shoe visually, like from far away, looked like an Air Jordan 1, but if you get up close and everything, definitely did not look like an Air Jordan 1, didn't feel like one. Not a Protro. It was an Air Jordan 1 Alpha. It's a new version of that shoe. What I'm talking about is that they should have put premium materials on these things for $175. Take some of the leftover leather, because I know that you got plenty of it from the Kobe 1 Protro, and put that on here. Why isn't it here? They didn't do a damn thing. This is first gen Flywire. First gen Flywire, for those of you that don't know, is plastic. There's no other way to put it. It's plastic with a piece of thread to make up Flywire. It's not anything special. This is as basic as it gets. We have a plastic side panel.
I think they're staying true to what you're saying though.
Correct. So if they were gonna keep this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece, I feel like that should have been real leather. It would have still looked like the Kobe 4. It would have looked identical. That's what I'm saying, is that you make those minor changes, you increase the premium feel, it's a little bit more plush, it's a nicer material, you know, you keep that first gen Flywire, cool. But for $175, you can't tell me that white leather would look different than this white synthetic. It would not. It would look just like the Kobe 4. Why didn't they do that? That's the thing that bothers me. Again, I just feel like for $175, you could have changed a little bit more to make them a little bit more elevated with that elevated price increase. Everything else though looks the same. You got the TPU heel counter, got the 24 kind of like pressed into the back panel of the shoe. Just these things look fantastic. I am so excited to see what colorways of these shoes come out. Are they gonna stick with originals, like what they did with the Kobe 1 Protro? Are they gonna come out with brand new ones? Which I know that they are, but those are gonna be collabs. So I'm really curious if they're gonna come out with new, for us regular folks, colorways.
I was just surprised because, and I know that the Kobe 1 is not a sleek, trimmed down shoe, but all of his, like from the 6s back, I wanna say, they're so sleek. And so when I pulled these out of the box, I was like, oh, they're kind of chunky looking in the toe.
So when I tried them on, they do fit true to size. However, they feel a little different on foot. The Kobe 4s to me, I remember like just them being very snug. And so when you break them in, they feel awesome. These ones, for whatever reason, the toe box feels like it's a little higher. So slightly more volume. Not a lot, just enough to where I noticed it. Cause again, I remember when I put them on originally, they like had that glove-like fit, and these ones did not. They do fit true to size still lengthwise, and widthwise they feel normal. But again, it was just something that I noticed when I put them on. This area felt kind of boxy. Obviously, she noticed it visually, so I'm not crazy. Okay, because I didn't even talk to her about this.
No, they just look beefy in the toe area.
Yeah, they've always kind of looked like that just because of the way that the materials are like wrapped instead of just like layered. But still, it's like, it was something where the toe looked to me like it was a little higher, and it felt a little higher. But I did not talk to her about this because I noticed this last night. Like,
I don't even think I saw you try them on.
Yeah, I did try them on, and it was like really late. It was like past midnight. So those are the main differences between this Kobe 4 Protro and the original. Not a lot has changed. I'm still excited to play in these. It shouldn't take long to test these because it's the same shoe. I'm just excited to play in a new version of it. I can't wait to see if this midsole feels bouncy. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. Did you grab a pair of these? I'm curious too. Are they sitting in your area? These were not available at my local mall. I had to grab these on Sneakers app. I heard that they were available a little further up north over at what they call Roseville. I don't like driving all the way up there because, for one, that mall is too fancy for me. And then on top of that, they don't normally have like the best selection of sneakers. Are they sitting in your area? Did you grab a pair? And if you did grab a pair, did you own the original? If you did own the original and you've already played in the Protro, what are your thoughts? I really want to know if you think that they're better, if they're worse, if they're the same exact feeling, if they're everything that you remember. Sound off below, let us know. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching once again, and until next time, guys, have a good one.
I just hope it lives up to the hype.
What do you mean?
Everybody and their mom loves what they did with the ones.
Not everybody, but a lot of people do.
A majority.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people can't get past the weight of the shoe.
Okay.
Even though they don't feel, like when you break them in, they don't feel heavy. They just feel like you're in a sneaker. These though, these are light. Wouldn't it be funny as hell though, if by the end of 2019, this, much like last year, where the Protro was like, to me, the best shoe. Wouldn't it be funny if the same thing happened, where the Kobe 4 is the best performing basketball shoe of 2019, and it really came out in 2009, and it would make you really think, what's going on over at Nike, guys? If they got it so right so long ago, what the F is going on? Like, are they really putting all their R&D into, you know, adapt BBs that they can't focus on making a really, really, really good basketball shoe again? If this shoe outperforms everything that they released this year, I'm just saying, man, like, I'm just, like, what? Like, that's just crazy. And it's definitely possible. I don't know for a fact, I just think it's possible. The funny thing is that we just did the Dame 5 performance review, right? Those remind me of these.
I could see that.
They're kind of a little bit bulky, not crazy. Traction is very similar. The cushion feel was very similar to the originals of these. The fit on the Dame 5 is amazing. The fit on the Kobe 4 is amazing. The Dame 5 might be the Kobe 4 mid-top, like reincarnated from a different brand.
Well, in December, this is the best. We can say
Called it.
we talked about it here.
Well, it was more speculation. It wasn't like a definitive, like me saying.
No, it was me being hopeful for them, and I'm not even a huge Nike person, but I just think it would be cool if.
That's where I disagree. I don't think it would be cool if this is the best shoe that they've released this year, because it's like this was a 10-year design. You're telling me that y'all did a better job 10 years ago than you did 10 years later?